Okay, so what I've done is I shaped up the face a little bit more. I had to get over here right in front of it, and it was looking kind of funny in places. Did a little shaping over here. I put in the basically put in the front of the headdress. Little details here and there, and also these bottom feathers need to finish up. I've done nothing on the back. Hadn't even touched that. Of course, this, I don't think I even need to, this is going to be thinned and like the other one that I did. I have a lot of wood back there to work with, so I'm not even going to mess with that right now. I'm about to move on to the face. Before I do that though, I'm going to put in a little more detail on the neck. Okay, what I want to do right now is just divide up these little areas where I'm going to have these hair braids or whatever hanging down. May end up being ribbons. Not going to do a whole lot here. Kind of the deal I do when it's like I'm just gonna put it so I'll know it's there. Hopefully I won't cut it off, and if I do, I'll change it. I'll do something else. Also, I just looked at this and I thought he had a bone necklace, and he just has a bunch of beads on his, and I was gonna do this like his, but I kind of like the segmented look of the bone necklace, so I'm gonna leave that on there. Not a big difference, but just something that is going to be different. Trying to get the top of the eye there to match on both sides. I'm going to shape up the face. I want to start with the nose, just getting it a little closer to what it'll look like. Carving on both sides, and I've got a hump in my nose. Not getting too far into these dimensions or proportions, but like I want the eye sitting on the half. For American Indian face, it makes the face longer instead of the half going through there, so that's going to be my halfway mark. This will be about the top of the head, about right here if you were to do this, and then the width of that, the width of the head's equal to the top of the head to the nose, and I think my nose is just a tad long. Actually, it's quite a bit long. And then that should divide into thirds. I want a long chin. That's good. That'd be the hairline. That's close. So, also I was talking about how this is a tough piece of basswood. And while it is, wonder if any of that's in focus. Well, not much. All right, I cut down the nose a little bit, and earlier I was talking about how this was a hard piece of basswood. Well, once I cut off the top part of that, it kind of leveled off. I'm going to kind of profile the nose. Okay, I got a good profile on that now, on the nose. I like that. I think that's a strong nose. Now I'll go for the face. Yeah, a few things I'm going to do here. Working on the face, we're going to cut around this mouth area. Also on this, got this little go-by photo on the profile of a Native American like this. The nose, their mouth kind of comes out like that. And for an Anglo, it'd be kind of straight down and then back like that. So I want to round that off, the mouth area, and it's built up there pretty good. I'll cut it back with, I'll do a V-tool. I got that carved back in there, and kind of get a flat tool, big sweep, kind of go around what'll be the upper mouth area. I'm going to shape up the nose a little bit more, kind of thin it up toward the top. But I'll keep in mind where the center line is and leave. I'm not going to carve it up to a point. And that's what's called a diamond and a half look on that nose. Like, there's the diamond and there's a half a diamond or a triangle. Kind of leave that where it's at. Go down in the size of a gouge. Build up the eye mound. And I'm going to go down another size gouge. I want to put the bottom of the eyes. I want to set them on the bottom. This line here, I want that to be the middle of the face. Well, actually, I want that to be the middle. And they say the head is 5 eyes wide. That's five eyes wide. And there's an eye between the corners of the nose. Then there's the eye width and another eye outside. What I worry about is getting the 3 eyes, the 2 eyes, and then an eye in the middle. Like, here's an eye width, there's an eye width. Actually, that's a little. Need to move this in. So I'll go back to a little bigger gouge and do my rounding off of the, not, I'm just rounding off, rounding of the eye mound. This is where it pays to have real sharp chisels where you can cut either direction, not really worry too much about the grain. That's kind of pulling right there though, but it's not too bad. Here's where I cut out around the eye, like I put these, I'll reenact this. Get this small gouge, and they get a hole on this corner of the eye, and then at that corner of the eye. Making it the same. I'll use a bigger gouge, and go in there and kind of make the bag under the eye. Not really worried about whether it's going to be baggy or not, like an old person baggy, but it needs that flesh there. Also, I've got a place here on the forehead that really stands out. I don't know, I think I'll leave that just for characteristics, but I do want to get the whole thing down just a bit, up near the headband. Kind of get that. Get over here on the side. This next thing, what I'll do is, before I go any further, the same tool I use to kind of shape the nose, I'm going to drive it up there and put some what I'll call worry lines right there. Dig them out that way. Oh, dig them out that way, and I'll round those over. But that's going to give me kind of the stern look I'm looking for. Go back in on the side with this big flat sweep. Do that on both sides. Use this big size gouge, and it will kind of make it be even, because you can cover a lot of ground and it'll all be the same. Then I'm going to go back in there and get up under the headdress. And just to clean that up a little bit. And at this point when I'm carving, I'm just looking at the face. I'm not worrying about how much the headrest sticks up, or if it needs to go down or tighten up over here. I know it will need that, but I'm not worried about that right now. I am kind of setting this in. It's got to be pretty close to where I want it. Because at this point, that's where I'm putting it. And sometimes I know on these Roughouts, one of them that I've had done, it's no fault of the Roughout guy, but I sent him one that wasn't really carved just right. So now all my Roughouts on those Santa ornaments, I'm not really happy with one side, but I know that, and so when I carve it, and like, it's either this Roughout or the way I set it in, probably the way I set it in, because this is a good Roughout. But it needed had too much meat on this side. Don't want to bring it in anymore, and that's not a good shape to use. This is the one I'm looking for. Don't want to cut this in anymore. I want this right where it is, so use the same one to cut in for the cheek. And then use this broad one to cut it on down. And I'll use that one to cut out the waist. Now there's a good crisp cut of the face, kind of outlines the face, and that's going to be pretty well stuck there. This one I'm calling my nose tool. I'm going to put it up just for a minute, y'all. Won't lose it. And I'm going to make I don't know, mouth area cut. Frown line, scowl line, whatever. Okay, now I've got that cut in. Okay, now I'm pretty much got the face set up where I want it. I've got some stuff I need to go do real quickly. So I'm going to stop at this point and get back on this tomorrow.